back and do a little afternoon update. It is, I never remember to check what time it is. Probably 7 o'clock at night. I just got done sewing and then took a little shower. It is sweaty over there. It was 92 in the shed from 11 o'clock this morning until now. It broke 90. It went down to 91 like right before I left. So the boys are putting up some more insulation. I'm sure it'll take until tomorrow. I decided to come over and make myself a little snack. Some fresh blueberries and some granola and some fresh peaches that were grown locally about halfway between here and work. There was a little farm stand that we stopped at. I also wanted to say a special thank you to my friend Amanda. Love her. This is one of the books that she recommended this week on her, if you joined her channel, well, it's the SOE Tactical channel. If you become a member, this is one of the members groups. And so Rosemary Gladstar's Medicinal Herbs, and then this is Herbal Foundations. She had 4 books on there. 3 of them I found. I think I bought 3 of them. The 4th book, she said she bought off TikTok, and so I don't do TikTok. I probably should, but I will get a copy of that one too. Then I wanted to share a couple updates. One, my daughter and her fiance were trying to get an apartment in town. You just have to go through something that's weird to me because I'm old, but it's commonplace now. You have to do all the background checks, and it's $40 a child first. So they just spent $80 and they can't get an apartment, just because hers says lack of credit history, and his says lack of credit history and 0 score. Part of that, I think, has to do with both of our families are Dave Ramsey families. They don't carry debt. Taylor has, she's gotten a credit card through the bank that I think has like $1,000 limit. And she uses it for gas. And so she'll go and she'll buy gas, and then she quite literally pays for it right away. Just transfers money, right then and there. And so I don't know that she's, I mean, I don't check obviously, but I don't know that she's ever carried a balance over from one month to another. Maybe if it had to do a little bit with when her paycheck comes, like if it's a big month or something, but and I know that like they get better rates for cell phones when they're still on our policy. So like we have 4 phones on our cell phone policy, and then each of my children just pays us for it. So of course there's not going to be any tracking of that from a standpoint of credit. And I don't think that, like Verizon Wireless, I don't think that they report anything to the credit agencies anyway. So we're just gonna have to figure out the next step. That's kind of the way it is with life. I don't really think, like, I am a planner, but I'm not a planner of every detail for the next 10 years. I plan to a step, and then I was like, okay, well, if we get to that step and it's a crossroad, like once this decision has been made at the Y of the valley of the Y, then you can figure out if you're turning left or right. But there's no point in going down this, do we turn left or right, until we know where we're stopping. So they were doing that, and then the girls went out and they met with a potential client today. A dog that's a little bit reactive, not as bad. Of course, you know, my daughter kind of, when she hears reactive dog, a lot of times she imagines like super aggressive, pulling on the leash, all kinds of stuff like that. Nope, he was a really good, well-behaved dog. Sudden movements and a lot of like, woo, you know, that startles him and that upsets him. She's like, I just want to be able to, you know, walk down the street, take him. Her fiance gets along with the dog very well. The dog does not like the dog doesn't like the mom's boyfriend, who comes over. And I think part of it has to do with the mom's boyfriend, doesn't knock, but instead just kind of walks in the door, which is the arrangement, obviously, that they have at their house. It is what it is. But I think the dog doesn't like that. So she was going to fill out the little worksheet to kind of talk about everything. You know, we have a form to fill out that talks about, you know, your dog and what the problems are and what you hope to gain out of the class and stuff like that. And so, sounds all exciting. They're going to have a class, well, they're going to have a meet and greet on Saturday. think the girls are excited. Hopefully it's not going to be so freaking hot. And then the last bit of super, super, super exciting news is we got a phone call from the guy who's going to do the septic system, and he's going to meet us out there tomorrow. So I don't know if he has to look at what he's doing or what he's going to do. And I don't know if he's going to say, okay, we'll come the next day, or if he's going to say, you know, okay, now you're going to come in 3 days. I have no idea, but we will be headed out there tomorrow morning. And then while we're out there, we're going to take the boys too. And I think we're going to go ahead and mark out, we were going to do it tomorrow evening. But since we're going to be over there tomorrow morning anyway, for him, we're going to go ahead and mark out approximately where we want the house and where the shed's going to go. And then we have to make sure that we can figure out where the camper is going to go for now, so that it doesn't interfere with, you know, the building of the house. And then I know my mom is coming down for the wedding, and I'm trying to convince the kids. My parents have a houseboat, and I'm trying to convince the kids to go get married on the houseboat, because I think that would be cool. And then she is going to end up buying a motorhome to be able to kind of travel between the places. And I think that she needs to be able to have a place to park where she can hook up. And she will have, I think I'm going to buy a solar generator so that the generator can run her place and it can just be recharged with solar. Otherwise, we're going to have to try and figure out how to put an extra post in. And since we're going off grid with solar anyway, that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. We might be able to make it so she could hook into our, I mean, eventually she can just have our old, like where our camper is going to be, she can just have the camper space when we don't have a camper anymore. But until then, I think the cat's making noises. Anyway, so that's what it's going to be.